Present. Hi everyone, we are the L1 Experience Reboot team, and welcome to our demo.
Alright, so this is the table of contents. So basically we're just gonna go over like the problem that we had to solve with like our minimum viable product. Then we'll show you like our demo. There's gonna be a video demo and a live demo. Then we're gonna show you our reflection on like this project and this experience. And then any next steps that like future students can like take to modify the project.
Okay, so we distinguished three problems for our project. So the first one is how can we promote more hands-on project learning experience for our students from the one-week curriculum original camp? The second one is how can we elevate students' exposure to more practical, currently in use and cutting-edge AI technologies? And thirdly, how can we effectively address the previous pain points given that students initially have limited programming knowledge?
Our solution to these problems is to create a 3-week project template of an AI-powered dungeon crawler game where users battle generative NPCs and endless dungeon maps. We created procedurally generated dungeon maps that are powered by ChatGPT for an endless gameplay experience. This helps introduce students to advanced AI. ChatGPT is easy to use and is practical. We also would use ChatGPT to create procedurally generated NPC characters for a tailored gameplay experience. This grants us unlimited gameplay through generative maps and NPC characters, enhancing the students' engagement and motivation, as opposed to simple fixed level designs.
Great, and here's a demo. So we actually have a recorded version of the demo that is more smooth. So if you're interested, we will attach this demo link. However, to prove that our MVP is live, I will also share the running code. Can everyone see this Pygame prompt or Pygame screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, give us your remote control, we can play it. I'm kidding. Yeah. Oh, bro.
So
it works. Oh my goodness.
was generated by the ChatGPT. And then also these NPCs, like attribute, like whether or not they can hold a bow, how fast they move, and blah, 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 are also generated by ChatGPT.
What the fuck? And you can shoot arrows, right?
Yes, you can.
Wait a second. So, okay, let me try to understand this a little bit. So we saw this game. This was very awesome. And so the innovation is using these large language models to generate something interesting.
Okay, so ChatGPT generates the layout of, the placement of the walls and these furnitures.
Hmm.
And then we can use like a random seed generator to place whatever furniture asset we have, given these placement determined by ChatGPT. And then also for the NPCs, the skin of the NPC is also randomly determined, but their behavior and attribute is like determined by AI. Would that make sense?
No, but it also makes sense. It's almost like you're playing a game, you have random enemies. Like it kind of makes sense, but I just don't understand like why. You know what I mean? Like how does this make it funnier or more interesting?
I think I can answer that question. So, the reason that we have this as AI generated is so that it can have like infinite amount of levels that get more difficult and also make it more fun for the user to play. It's not fun for someone to
Got
play
it.
like a level that just stays the same. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see, I see, I see. I got it. And then certainly you have different levels and you can do different prompts and make the enemy I guess it's like stronger as you go, but also random in nature. I completely got it. Okay, okay. Yeah. That's pretty dope. Yeah.
Yes. And for the NPCs, they actually have like, they look differently. So for smaller NPCs, the AI will know that they're small and give them less, they will make them more speedy. For the enemies that looks bigger, more weighty, the AI will generate less speed attributes for NPC. So it aligns with what they look like. this is the other map that was also generated. And this is like the boss map. We have a boss that is shooting fireballs that can pierce through obstacle barriers.
I was like, how come you don't die? You obviously being shot multiple times.
Mhm.
Well, Jimmy sucks at the game, so
I mean, he
That was-
also has the God mode, right? He can change a parameter. He can have 10,000 points or something.
Yes, you could manually edit that in constant.high.
You know, bet like if you publish this, there would be people playing.
Mhm.
Pretty dope. Awesome.
And this is our success metric.
For the success metric, our goal is that by the end of the 2024 summer camp, we have a 5 out of 5 student satisfaction score with 300 or more students using our project template and learning from it.
Okay, so for the management of the project, so like we had pretty clear like minimum viable product specifications. And we also like, held each other accountable in like weekly sprint meetings and one-on-one meetings and a lot of progress checks. And we defined ownership of our work.
For this design aspect, the way that we made our work successful in designing is making sure we had the proper research and like inspiration pictures for what exactly we wanted these designs to look like. And also we did some research on our target customer. This is AI camp, so we know that kids in high school and middle school are going to be using it. So we tried to make designs that were fun and also designs that like let them have creative liberty when they're creating their own designs.
We would also place comments throughout the code so that students can easily understand what each part of the code is meant to do and help with the code's readability. And we would also divide the work amongst ourselves so that we can get things done more effectively and efficiently.
And because we were dividing our work, we also had to implement a version control. So people working on different sections of the project can have different versions so that they don't overlap or disrupt each other's code, which led to us using the GitHub commits and different branches.
For prompt engineering, one of our best practices was clear specification, which basically means that we clearly defined and like specified each part of our prompts, meaning that they were easier to like understand and alter if we had to change something. Similarly, another one was iterative refinement, which is basically we started off with a rather simpler prompt, and then as that prompt worked, we started increasing it in like complexity and adding more tasks. That way, like we were sure that it worked.
also as prompt engineers, we have to use few shot prompting, which is a technique where the AI model provides only a few examples or instances for a particular task or domain to perform the given task. And we also use consistency sampling, which is get a prompt that received a good output, we store the result and feed it back to the prompt to increase the consistency and the quality of the results. It's like a self-improvement process.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And
Okay.
Yep, Mela, go ahead.
Okay. For the technology that we used different technologies on different fronts. So we use Figma for the designing, and for the generating maps and prompt engineering, we used Pygame, MakerSuite, and OpenAI.
And this is our team learnings. We first have Mela's learning.
Yes. So what I learned during these 10 weeks was how to work collaboratively with everyone to make sure that this project was smooth and efficient, not just a bunch of like missing pieces, like trying to figure out how we're going to make this work into one whole project. So I learned that it's just as important to have great designs and great prompt engineering and make sure that every single part works well together. And I also understood the critical role of high quality data, because as a designer I was in charge of creating those designs that the AI models were going to use to make these even more complex design. So it was essential that I created good quality designs for the models.
Okay, so for what I learned, I think I learned how to be like more independent and like how to account for myself. I really like the updates and sprint meetings because like it gave me like, a sense of like progress and like, rhythm to this program. And I think that like this experience like helped me apply like my skills in like a more realistic environment that has like deadlines, because yeah, when you do projects by yourself, it's kind of like you're the only person that you're gonna rely on.
For me, I have experienced a great team collaboration as well as professional guidance in designing with AI and producing the final functioning Dungeon Infinite game. And I have learned that prompt engineers for AI require a blend of linguistic proficiencies, creativity, and domain knowledge, along with problem solving and a certain level of examples.
Yeah, for me, I think it's I developed the strategy for maximizing team efficiency, which was done through like leveraging each other's strengths and weaknesses and being able to identify what others are good at and what in order to create the best product possible by the end. And also using GitHub as a team to effectively collaborate and integrate what each of us have done separately so that by the end we have a great product.
Over the 10 weeks, I expanded my knowledge in both Pygames and Python programming. I learned how to use VS Code and GitHub Desktop, which I was previously not familiar with. And I also delved into iterative prompt engineering and testing. And I also learned a lot about collaborating together in a team and like communicating to ensure that all of the parts of a project work smoothly together.
During the last 10 weeks, I have deepened my understanding of Python and especially of the Pygame library. And I have also enhanced my abilities in GitHub and VS Code and learned how to use them more effectively and easier. And I've also learned how to problem solve better, especially regarding coding.
And then this is our team. We first have Winshi, the front and back engineer. Then we have Paul, front and back engineer, and Crisino, the back engineer. And for the designers, we have Mela, Michael, but Michael is also back engineer working with Pygame, as well as Sentu, front engineer. And I'm Jimmy, the team lead. And a huge shout out to Mason, Blake, Goku, Elliot, and the AI Camp community for helping us make this project possible. These are,
And
go ahead, Winchi.
here are the future visions for our MVPs. So students could implement the following features on their own. Firstly, they could edit the program by prompt engineering LLMs to generate map size of 15 by 15, 17 by 17, and beyond. With the larger maps and more detailed that fits to their map size using the AI model.
For the fact that we're going to let these kids make their own designs, we created a Pygame design tutorial for them to follow so that they can make their own creative designs and also make their own creative NPCs to be used as data for these AI generated projects. So people can look through the design aspect and also the coding aspect as well. And I think if you want to look back at it, if you're interested, we have the Pygame design tutorial linked to the presentation.
And then finally, students could like try to implement like geometric like projectiles to like bosses. So like basically like bosses could like shoot like a ring of fireballs or something, for example. And that could be like a pretty cool thing.
Okay, thank you. That was the end of our presentation.
All right, great work, everyone. Yeah,
Can I give a comment real quick?
yeah, of course.
So first off, great work, guys. It was a pleasure getting to like see your project and work with you guys. One thing that I really appreciated was the fact that you guys took an engineering approach to a lot of the problems you face. I remember when I was working, I think with Lynchy one day, we had issues trying to figure out how we could leverage, I think, one of GPT's, like OpenAI's GPT model. And we were having issues. There was an iterative approach where we adjusted the prompt. It didn't work. And then I remember getting a message saying that we actually switched models to Palm 2. And I really appreciated this because you guys saw this issue you were having. And instead of going with kind of the tried and true approach, you applied kind of a, let's say, you kind of went against the grain, or you went a different direction entirely, which sometimes can be kind of scary. And you guys tried a completely new model, Palm 2, I think it was. And personally, I never even had worked with it. And I know a lot of people haven't, but I commend that because it took a lot of courage on your guys' end to make that switch, especially later in the GI. So great work.
Yeah, thanks. And also your comment on how we should make use of the system box for prompt engineering was also really helpful. After using that for prompt 2, it actually has some generative quality improvements. So do you make use of the system box?
All right.
We have a very special ending slide.
Right. Okay.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe.